I'm not sure whether or not I want to be a YouTuber. I am sure that I love people who love love, and I am super grateful for all of the positive messages and support that was sent my direction. So I just wanted to send a quick thank you.
Being in love can be a beautiful thing, but if there are signs of domestic violence in your relationship, don't ignore it. Today's case, we will be talking about the tragic death of Shana Donahue. If you want to bring awareness for Black and brown victims, please share and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and comment below so you never miss a case. This case actually happened not too long ago. It happened around May 2020. Around that time, the murder of George Floyd happened. He was killed from police brutality. So I believe this story wasn't really in the public often because we had so much things going on with Black Lives Matter. So recently I actually came upon this case, and it was really like heartbreaking to me because Shana Donahue was a person that really had an impact on many people, not just also like her friends and family, but also the YouTube community. Shana Donahue was a 26-year-old from Washington, D.C. She was known to be very warm, passionate, very much an earth tone person. Like, she was into this, just the natural aspects of the world. She was an elementary school teacher where she taught nutrition at Fresh Farm Food Prints. Food Prints is an after-school and summer program that provides opportunities for students to engage in hands-on cooking and gardening experiences, integrated with science, math, social studies, and literacy lessons. Shana was driven by a passion for childhood nutrition education. Shana was proud to share the love of growing, eating healthy vegetables with young Black students in DC who often struggled with food insecurities at home and, having the access to food in their communities as well. So Shana also pressed the issue of racial equality and justice with the community. Not only was she a teacher, like I said, she was also a YouTuber. Her YouTube name was Nap Queen, where she shared natural hair ideas and natural hair care that will help your natural hair, just be more healthy.
Guys, it's me, Nap Queen. If you guys would like to see how I got this Romeo Must Die fresh relaxer looking, straight on fleek, shiny, any other descriptive words or phrases you guys can use or find to describe how my hair looks right now. If you guys want to know how I achieved this, stay tuned. I did straighten my hair.
And she grew a great fan base, having around 21,000 subscribers, because many women and men in the world wanted to know, okay, how can I take care of myself? How can I take care of my hair? Just expressing self-love. Another interesting fact was that Shana received a college basketball scholarship to the University of South Carolina, which I thought was pretty cool because I love basketball. I played basketball throughout high school, and I just feel like that was just really relatable. She's a very pretty girl, but also a tomboy. Her dad and her boyfriend, Daniel Fleetwood, helped her move into her freshman dorm to start her college journey. Daniel and Shana actually grew up together. They were high school sweethearts at Oxon Hill High School, and they continued their romantic relationship after college. So now they're pretty much adults. They spent half of their youth together. They know each other. They love each other. So Daniel's like, hey, I'm going to go on one knee and I'm going to propose to Shana. And Shana was actually very excited when Daniel proposed, and she said yes. They were extremely in love and ready to settle down. But Shana did have some concerns regarding their relationship, and she eventually called off the engagement immediately. So she called off the engagement and left him because Daniel was actually emotionally and physically abusive towards her. So this relationship was pretty much toxic, it wasn't healthy, and I totally agree with anyone that wants to leave someone that is physically harming them and emotionally draining them. I feel like, don't stay in relationships that aren't healthy for you, because you can always get 10 times better. Like my mom always used to tell me, if something is not benefiting your health, if it's not benefiting your mind, if it's not helping you grow, leave it. Adios. The relationship is trash. So, don't ignore the signs as well. Like if you see signs of domestic, violence, that person is just extremely angry all the time, don't ignore it. And I'm pretty sure Shana saw the signs, maybe even before college, maybe in high school she saw the signs. And, this time it was just like, look, I'm fed up. But surprisingly, Shana didn't cut Daniel off completely. After she stopped the engagement and left him prior, they were only separated for about 3 years. And for some reason, Daniel was able to sway her back in. She got right back with Daniel and eventually had him move in with her at her apartment near the Southeast Washington area. On April 21st, 2020, Shana actually tweeted about getting back with Daniel, and I'll go ahead and read y'all the tweet. So, no one's gonna love me like how my ex-fiance loves me. I think we're back together after 3 years. Is my life really this simple? He's the most forgivable man I know. I'm the most forgivable woman he knows. There's never any hate between us, even when there are bad decisions. But it won't be until May 22nd, 2020, police reported Shayna tragically killed inside of her apartment. On May 21st, the night before, Shayna and Daniel had a huge fight. Shayna told Daniel to actually leave the apartment. She didn't want him there. She was like, look, you need to get out. And this argument was so bad that neighbors actually heard loud fighting and shouting. They began now pushing each other, fighting, and it led into Shana being stabbed to death. Early Thursday morning around 6 a.m. the next day, a neighbor who went to check on Shana discovered her body in the apartment. So the police was called and arrived to the scene immediately. So when police arrived to the scene, they see Shana in a fetal position near a glass table between the living and dining room area and also the kitchen. Police stated that her arms and face were bloody. There were punctured wounds, to her neck, stomach, right bicep, right thigh, hip, and shoulder blade. And there were also bite marks were found, on her right wrist. There were blood on the door, on the walls, and also a pair of scissors and a knife near Shana's body was discovered. While police were on the scene, Daniel actually walked into the apartment. So it looked like when everything popped off, after he finished killing Shana, he fled. But, he came back, and while he came back, police were there. He approaches the house, and he's literally covered in blood, and he asks to speak to Shana. He actually told police everything could be explained. So I'm like, did you not know that you killed her? Like, you stabbed her multiple times and left the apartment, and now you pulling up like, let me speak to Shana. So I feel like he was clearly mentally ill. He was definitely messed up in the head. But that also speaks volumes, about their relationship, because we don't know how many times he was physical towards Shana, or, they both were, and he would just leave and then come back like everything was okay, like nothing happened. You don't know how many times they were physically just getting into altercations. He left, came back, but this time the altercation led to her death. Homicide detectives took Daniel to police headquarters where he agreed to be interviewed. So they're trying to gather as much information as they can. And I know police and investigators are looking at Daniel like, look, this guy is definitely suspect. He comes with blood all over his shirt. He's like, hey, I can explain. So he definitely looks hella sus off rip. Daniel actually told detectives that while they were fighting, Shayna grabbed a pair of scissors and stabbed him first, and that he grabbed the scissors out of her hands and defended himself. He told investigators, quote, "She tried to get me really angry on purpose, and I don't know why. It's like a thing all women have. Yeah, she was trying to get me upset. A man has to die to be truly in love. I never had this done before. I think it's a devilish type of thing. It's hard to explain. I can see it. When you are in a relationship with a girl, it's like a sight thing." He also stated that the two began stabbing each other and that she stopped, but he continued. He stated, quote, "It was like something in me, like the demon in me wanted to kill. And once I killed her, I came alive." He also told detectives he had been drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana before the fight occurred. Now, for me, I feel like the moment you start speaking about a demon made me do it and I feel alive when I kill, there is basically something wrong with you. And I feel like there's always been, something there, but maybe Shana chose to ignore it because she thought that it was love. Now, I really hate the fact that she went back to him after those 3 years. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that soul tie between them was extremely strong. And I feel like something like that, you really need to detox yourself away from that person. You need to cut off all communication. You need to do everything you can to not, keep ties with that person, especially if that person is physically and emotionally harming you. And it's just really a sad case. And honestly, him even stating that, she stabbed him first, something in me don't really believe that. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment below. But that just kind of seems off to me, especially if she's telling you, hey, leave, like get out. I don't see her taking a scissor and stabbing him like that. Like, I really don't see that. I feel like this relationship was already toxic off rip, and it's really unfortunate that she went back to that because it now eventually led up to her death. Shayna's father was extremely heartbroken. He stated that she was a good soul and he doesn't know what could have caused Daniel to do this. He said his daughter, had dated other men within that 3-year mark when they were apart, but those relationships did not work out. He said she never told him that Daniel was abusive or showed signs of mental illness or had a violent temper. The director of education at Fresh Farm also stated that Shayna had complained to colleagues that Daniel had been abusive to her in the past. Colleagues were surprised to even hear she allowed him to move back, into her apartment. Now, my thing is this: women, and especially Black women, need to stop defending men when they are being emotionally and physically abused. We need to start normalizing trauma as love. We need to stop normalizing fighting nonstop, hitting each other, roughing each other up, or choke holding as normal. Like, that is not normal. That is not okay, because it actually can lead into your death. And it's just really unfortunate with this situation because she didn't have to deal with that. It looked like she had like a very good friend support, family support. Her mother and family members also shared a few words regarding Shana's death as well.
My dearest beloved daughter, I waited for some time to go before I shared my feelings. Nothing can ever heal my heart of losing you, but I know that I can and must go on without you. Maurice and I enjoy remembering our good times with you. You accomplished so much in such a short time, and we were so humble about all of it. I will miss your hello, beautiful greetings when you call. I will miss your laugh. And we will miss calling you by our special nicknames for you that you resisted and eventually grew to love. You made me so proud, and I will love you always. As you would always tell me, nothing can change that. Rest in peace, beautiful. Until we meet again, Mom.
This was just another unfortunate death to a beautiful soul. Domestic violence within the Black community is extremely high and it needs to change. This is a story of Shana Donahue. Please bring awareness to domestic violence.
Fresh Farm did create the Shana Donahue Memorial Fund. The Shana Donahue Memorial Fund for future food educators will support young people like Shayna, DC natives who are dedicated to promoting healthy food and a sustainable agriculture in the local communities and advancing a racially just local food system.
I also have another video, and it's called The Tragic Case of Breonna Johnson, another YouTuber that was killed due to domestic violence. So go ahead and check that out as well. Please share and comment below your feelings about this case. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.